Thought for a couple of seconds. Attraction is not a mystical force governed by chance or luck. It is a calculated dance of psychology, presence, and self-mastery. For centuries, men have misunderstood the art of attraction, conflating relentless pursuit with genuine connection. They chase, plead, and overextend only to watch their efforts dissolve into indifference. But what if the secret to being desired lies not in what you do, but in what you don't do? What if the key to making women chase you is rooted not in grand gestures, but in the quiet confidence of strategic restraint? This is not about manipulation, it's about understanding human nature. Machiavelli, the Renaissance philosopher synonymous with power dynamics, once wrote, "Men are so simple of mind and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful man will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived." While his words may seem cynical, they reveal a truth. People respond to patterns, incentives, and perceptions. In modern relationships, this translates to a simple truth. Attraction thrives on scarcity, intrigue, and self-possession. Let's dismantle the myths. You don't win a woman's heart by proving you're the nice guy. You don't earn her loyalty by being available 24/7. And you certainly don't command respect by explaining why you're worthy of it. These behaviors reek of desperation, and desperation is the antithesis of power. True attraction begins when you stop chasing and start embodying a life so compelling that others can't help but gravitate toward it. Human brains are wired to seek patterns. We find comfort in predictability. It's why routines feel safe. But comfort is the enemy of attraction. When a woman can anticipate your every move, your every text, your every reaction, you become as exciting as a rerun of a TV show she's already seen. Mystery, on the other hand, activates curiosity. Curiosity fuels obsession. Consider this. A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that uncertainty intensifies romantic attraction. Participants who were unsure of a potential partner's feelings reported higher levels of obsessive thinking and emotional investment. This is the scarcity principle in action. When something feels elusive, we instinctively value it more. Machiavelli understood this. He wrote, "A prince ought to inspire fear in such a way that, if he does not win love, he avoids hatred." While we're not advocating for fear, the principle holds. Command respect by remaining just out of reach. Avoid oversharing. On a first date, resist the urge to divulge your life story. Instead, ask questions. Listen intently. Reveal details sparingly, like breadcrumbs leading to a deeper narrative. If she mentions her love of travel, don't immediately volunteer that you've backpacked through 20 countries. Wait, let her ask. Delay responses. If she texts, "What are you up to?" don't reply within seconds. Wait an hour, 2 hours. Let her wonder. When you do respond, keep it concise. "Just wrapping up a project. You?" This signals you have a life beyond her. Embrace silence. During conversations, let pauses linger. Silence is a canvas for projection. She'll fill it with her own assumptions, often painting you as more intriguing than you are. The mere exposure effect, the phenomenon where people prefer things they're familiar with, has a caveat. Overexposure breeds indifference. By rationing your presence, you become a reward, not a given. Think of James Bond. He's never overly eager, yet women are drawn to his aloof confidence. He doesn't chase, he allows. In the age of social media, your online persona is a curated gallery. Every post, comment, and like is a brushstroke in a portrait of your life. Most men ruin this portrait by oversharing, posting gym selfies daily, sliding into DMs with generic compliments, or flooding stories with mundane updates. This screams insecurity. Look at me, validate me. Machiavelli warned, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." In the digital realm, this means strategic minimalism. A high-value man's social media isn't a diary. It's a teaser trailer for an intriguing life. Post sparingly, share one high-quality photo per week, a candid shot from a hike, a glimpse of your workspace, a meal you cooked. Avoid over-explaining captions. Saturday vibes is better than a paragraph about your existential musings. Avoid thirst traps. Liking every photo in her Instagram feed or commenting on her selfies broadcasts neediness. Instead, engage rarely but meaningfully. If she posts a photo from a concert, comment "saw them live last year." Front row shook the soul. This shows shared interests without desperation. Leverage stories wisely. Post a story once every few days. A video of your dog, a book you're reading, or a sunset. No filters, no captions. Let the image speak. Mystery invites curiosity. Research from computers and human behavior shows that passive social media use correlates with envy and loneliness. Active, intentional posting, however, projects confidence. By minimizing your digital footprint, you create an aura of exclusivity. She'll think, "His life seems interesting. Why doesn't he post more?" That question alone keeps you lodged in her mind. Most men fear being misunderstood, so they over-explain, apologizing for delayed texts, justifying their hobbies, or defending their opinions. But every justification hands her a gavel. Suddenly, she's the judge and you're the defendant pleading your case. Machiavelli wrote, "It is not essential that a prince have all good qualities, but it is essential that he appear to have them." In modern terms, perception is power. When you refuse to explain yourself, you radiate self-assuredness. You become a riddle she's compelled to solve. Deflect with humor. If she prods, "Why are you so quiet?" Smirk and reply, "Just admiring the view." This reframes your silence as intentional, not awkward. Own your rhythm. If she asks, "Why do you take so long to reply?" say, "I prefer to be present where I am." No apologies, no elaboration. Never defend your passions. If she dismisses your love of chess or metalworking, don't justify. Say, "It's not for everyone," and pivot to her interests. Confidence disarms criticism. A 2020 study in social psychological and personality science found that people who speak less are perceived as more competent. Brevity signals control. When you resist the urge to fill silence with chatter, you project depth. Think of Clint Eastwood's characters, men of few words, yet magnetic in their stillness. These rules are not abstract concepts, they're tools to rewire your behavior. Imagine two scenarios. Scenario one, you meet a woman at a cafe. You bombard her with questions, laugh too loudly at her jokes, and text her that night. "Had a great time. Let's do it again soon." She ghosts. Scenario two, you ask thoughtful questions, listen more than you speak, and wait 2 days to text. That story about your road trip got me thinking. "Ever been to Big Sur?" She replies instantly. The difference? In the second scenario, you've applied Machiavellian strategy. You're unpredictable, delayed text, valuable, referenced her story, and unbothered. No overeagerness. Attraction isn't about changing who you are. Neediness is the kryptonite of attraction. When your mood swings with her texts or your confidence crumbles at her silence, you surrender all power. Emotional selectivity flips this script. You engage proportionally. She invests, you reciprocate. She withdraws, you redirect. Machiavelli cautioned, "He who becomes a prince through the favor of the people must work to retain their friendship, which he will find easy, since all they ask is not to be oppressed." Translating to relationships, give the people what they need, not what they want. She may want constant validation, but what she needs is a man who's unfazed by her whims. Match energy, don't chase it. If she takes hours to reply, mirror her pace. If she's effusive, reciprocate, but never exceed her enthusiasm. Withdraw gracefully. If she cancels plans, respond, "No worries, catch you next time," then disappear for a week. Let her feel the void of your absence. Compliment sparingly. Praise her intellect when she shares a bold opinion, not her appearance every time she posts a selfie. Scarcity amplifies value. The intermittent reinforcement theory, rewarding behavior unpredictably, is why slot machines are addictive. Apply this to attention. When compliments or texts come inconsistently, she'll work harder to earn them. A study in Nature Communications found that unpredictable rewards trigger dopamine surges more effectively than predictable ones. Machiavelli wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." For modern men, this translates to, your life's mission is your greatest asset. A man building a legacy, whether in business, art, or fitness, exudes a focus that's irresistibly attractive. Publicly pursue mastery. Post progress, not poses. A video editing time-lapse, a half-marathon medal, a leather wallet you crafted. Show, don't tell. Protect your time. If she asks to meet last minute, say, "I've got meetings till 8. Free after?" This signals your schedule isn't hers to command. Talk less, do more. Mention your goals casually. Can't Friday? Launching a project. Let her imagination magnify your ambition. A psychological science study found that ambitious individuals are perceived as more attractive long-term partners. Purpose signals stability and genetic fitness. When your life revolves around a mission, you're no longer a suitor, you're a prize. These rules coalesce into a singular truth. Attraction is the byproduct of self-mastery. When you're consumed by a purpose, when your confidence is untethered from others' opinions, you emit a frequency that's magnetic. At the gym, you're not there to flirt, you're there to train. Yet, by focusing on your workout, not her, you become the guy she accidentally bumps into at the water cooler. In conversation, when she tests you, you're trouble, aren't you? Deflect with a grin. Depends who's asking. No defense, just playful ambiguity. Online, after she views your story, a single shot of you coding at a cafe, she DMs, "What are you working on?" You reply, hours later, "Changing the game." You? Machiavelli's greatest lesson wasn't about manipulation. It was about agency. It is much safer to be feared than loved, he wrote, when of the two, either must be dispensed with. In love, replace feared with respected. Respect is born from boundaries, self-worth, and quiet power. When you stop chasing, you start choosing. When you stop explaining, you start intriguing. And when you build an empire, you become the king women vie to throne. This is not manipulation. It's the art of becoming undeniable. The journey from chasing to commanding requires patience. Start small, delay a text, delete a thirsty comment, focus on your craft. Over time, these threads weave into a tapestry of power won that draws others in, not through force, but through the quiet gravity of a life well lived.